Hey, it's Quadix here. Today we'll be doing the Abandoned Uchiha Chapter 2. This is my own story. I This hit 100 views very slowly. It didn't get a lot of support, but it had 19 likes now that I checked, and it was past 100 views. It was like, I think I uploaded a week ago. So for the next part, to come out, it will come out as soon as this video hits 15 likes and 10 comments. If you don't have anything to comment Q. Also comment how and where you want this story to go to, because I'm not the only writer in this story. You guys are like the co-writers. Okay. And yeah, suggest me other stories that you want me to do. Also suggest some anime suggestions. That would be appreciated. And yeah, let's get into this. The Abandoned Uchiha, Chapter 2. October 11th, Konoha. It was early morning. The sun just started rising. Minato wasn't in his Hokage outfit. He was giving a speech to the villagers about the events that happened yesterday just outside the cemetery. The sun was right behind him, making the whole thing more I forgot how you say that. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna skip that word. It was just last night that the attack happened on Konoha. Konoha could not look weak, so they started to rebuild. So they started the rebuilding process early. After everyone left to grieve, Minato stood there looking at his wife's grave. There was a red rose on the freshly made grave. He stared at the rose deep in thought. The rose reminded him of his beautiful wife. The red was the same tint as her hair. Just like the rose, she was beautiful. Also, like Kushina, the rose had spikes you don't want to be pierced by. After a couple of hours, an Anvil appeared. He had a dog mask and a tank top, revealing a tattoo on his arm. He had a short blade at his back and a baby Naruto in his hand. Naruto was sucking his thumb with a satisfied look on his face. A smile came in Minato's face and he had hope again. The Anbu took off his mask, revealing Kakashi Hatake. With his usual calm face and a little eye smile, he said, "Lord Fourth, Lord Jiraiya is in the office awaiting you." It seemed like he has news. Kakashi was always formal when he was on duty. It made him popular with the higher-ups. Minato thanked Kakashi and patted Naruto's head before he left. He said, "You're my most trusted shinobi and a reliable friend. I entrust his safety to you. I know I can count on you." That was one of the reasons he asked Kakashi to protect Naruto. He also hoped Kakashi would be able to move on from the death of Rin and Obito. October 11th, Land of Water, 4th Mizukage office. This was hours, actually no, yeah, this was hours before where we just were. The 4th Mizukage was sitting in his office awaiting someone's arrival. He was short. He had soft, spotless skin like a child. He had on a green, round scar around his neck. He had a gray shirt under that with a Kirigekure headband on his lower stomach. He had a green belt below and a gray shorts that reached his knees. He was a perfect example of looks being deceiving. He is the Hitler of Naruto realm. He ordered mass killings of Kekkei Genkai users. Violent and unstable, Yagura happily took part in Kirigekure's Fatal Academy graduation rituals. He quickly became the strongest ninja in the village and became the 4th Mizukage. The three-tailed beast only made Yagura more dangerous. Over the years, he grew to understand how to use its power in the most terrible ways. After 5 minutes of waiting, the person he was waiting for arrived. In a soft, cold voice, Yagura said, "You have 10 seconds to speak before I kill you for wasting my time." The woman that had just walked in was Yagura's secretary. I'm not going to explain what she looks like because she's going to die soon anyways. None of the secretaries lasted long. She spoke with a stutter. Lord Fourth, our spies have told us that Konoha was attacked by the nine-tailed beast. Their Jinchuriki is dead. Also there is a shinobi outside with reports on the massacre. With a smile on his face, he said, "You're dismissed." He thought it looks like your time has come, Minato. The shinobi outside came into the office and gave his report on the massacre. Then Yagura told him to retrieve the forces and to tell headquarters to set up a rushed attack plan on Konoha. Also send messages to the 7 ninja swordsmen. I want Kisame and Zabuza to help the invasion on Konoha. Tell the others to continue the massacre. With a bow, the man shunshined away. October 11th, Land of Fire, Hokage office. I won't go into too much details because this is getting boring. I mean, this whole thing has nothing to do with the main character, which is Naruto. This is like before it sets up the foundations for how Naruto's new story is going to go. Basically, Jiraiya told Minato that the Mist Village is moving in to attack, and two of the 7 ninja swordsmen are meeting up, and that he will go deal with them since the two ninja swordsmen have stopped their massacres and they're retreating to their home, and which is and after they done that, they started moving towards Konoha, which is why Jiraiya is going to go fight them too, while Minato and everyone else has to go fight the rest of the ninjas. So Jiraiya isn't planning on killing the two ninja swordsmen because they're both S rank ninjas. He's planning on holding them back, since the only other person who is really a good match for them is the two of them is only Minato. There's no other Kage level ninja. Keep in mind, Kakashi's father is dead at this point, which takes him out of the equation. Kakashi isn't an S rank ninja yet. He's still relatively young. He's a Jonin, but he isn't as strong. And yeah, and so there's gonna be a war occurring, as I said. I will finish the war very quickly in here. I'm not gonna finish it. I'm gonna go through that first half of the war pretty quickly, which is Jiraiya's half. And the next chapter, I'm gonna go over the main battle, which is Minato and everyone else, and then how Minato is gonna go back and teleport to Jiraiya and help fend them off. So yeah, let's get into it. There is a bridge between the land of water and the land of fire. That bridge is going to be where the battle is taking place. Minato is sending reconnaissance forces to see the numbers of the people coming and set up ambushes. They go ahead, and Minato is awaiting everyone else, all the Jonins, to come back from missions, and Shikamaru's father, I forgot his name, he is leading strategies on what they can do. I'm not gonna go over the war strategies, just a couple of major battles in this strategy, which is the Minato versus the Mizukage, and Jiraiya versus the two of the 7 deadly swordsmen, which is Kisame and Zabuza. So when they charge in, Jiraiya tries to ambush Kisame and Zabuza, but Kisame's sword senses him because he can sense strong chakras, or well, chakra in general. So Kisame goes through hand signs and floods the whole field with water, since Kisame told them that the enemy was strong, and they weren't trying to waste time, so they were trying to get rid of the enemy quickly. So they were both serious from the beginning. Zabuza started creating mist, and in the mist, Kisame formed hand signs for his sharks, and Jiraiya summoned his frog, and the frog and Jiraiya did a fire jutsu. Well, the frog used oil, and Jiraiya put fire, added his fire into the oil, making a strong fire jutsu, aiming towards the sharks that Kisame just finished the hand signs for. And when they collided, the attacks were not equal. Jiraiya's fire won, since Kisame wasn't in his like shark form. So Kisame just formed more water, while Zabuza went to charge in, while Kisame was forming more water for his giant water shark. And Jiraiya summons Gamabunta, the really big toad, and Gamabunta goes in and with a clone of Jiraiya does a long chain of hand signs for a big fire jutsu, since they saw Kisame going through long chains of hand signs, meaning that he was going to create a large water jutsu attack. And the real Jiraiya summoned a smaller frog who had armor plates and two swords. The armor plates were red, and they went from the back of his neck to his back, and they didn't go anywhere near his like belly or any of their legs, just on the back and his neck. And it was about the same height as Jiraiya, but it was wider than Jiraiya. So yeah, Zabuza skills in the swords art was better than the toad, but the toad was good enough to keep him back, while Jiraiya shot his hair at Zabuza, and he was going through hand saws while Zabuza was distracted for explosive tags. And he gave the explosive tags to the frog, who threw them with his sword at Zabuza, making him jump back and doing a backflip. And with the water that was already there from Kisame's original flooding the field, he did the hand signs for water dragon, and Jiraiya did hand signs for wind jutsu, which was the Great Breakthrough, but it was a different version of the Great Breakthrough, since he didn't use his palms or hand. It came out of his mouth, and he shot that out, and it hit the water dragon. By the way, in the original, we don't actually see Jiraiya use that many ninjutsu. I know he has fire, but I'm gonna give him a secret chakra nature, which is a wind, since he taught he didn't actually teach Naruto about it, but he knew about wind. And he's a Sanin. He probably knows multiple natures, since Orochimaru knows multiple natures. Tsunade knows multiple natures. She just doesn't use them because she's a brawler. She just hits hard and heals. But yeah, Kisame finally finishes his big jutsu, which is a massive shark, and Jiraiya shoots his massive fire jutsu at them. Kisame's water shark wins, since it absorbs chakra and absorbed the fire jutsu. So Jiraiya summons the two grandpa and grandma frogs, and he goes into stage mode. Now the frogs, and then he summons of the frog stomach, trapping trapping Zabuza inside the frog stomach, and Kisame can cut through it with his chakra absorbing sword. He chases after Zabuza, and now it's Zabuza. Kisame gets out with his chakra absorbing sword. Now it's Kisame and Jiraiya fighting together since Zabuza is stuck. Now, Jiraiya is pretty confident since he has Sage Mode on, and if Kisame absorbs too much Sage Mode chakra, he'll turn into stone, which means he can attack, but he still has to be careful since, Zabuza can throw jutsus at him still. And his blade is strong. It cuts. It tears. It doesn't cut. So yeah, he goes in for hand-to-hand combat with two shadow clones, and the two shadow clones first of all, Kisame comes. He cuts one shadow clone down, and the sword absorbed a lot of the the sage chakra out of that clone. The second clone, he goes in for the swing. The second clone backflips, and Jiraiya comes from his right side, and with a Rasengan ready, and he slams the Rasengan into his side, which damages him, but Kisame absorbed a lot of the chakra, so it was like a half of a Rasengan. It was a Sage Rasengan, so it still did a lot of damage, and the sword ended up absorbing even more nature chakra. And while he did that, the Jiraiya clone went through hand signs for a fire dragon, and a fire dragon started heading Kisame's way. Kisame backflipped and did hand signs for water bullets, destroying the clone. And Kisame is wondering what's wrong with his sword, since it's acting up. And when he's distracted, Jiraiya takes advantage of that and throws two Fuma shurikens at him and does hand signs for the shadow shuriken jutsu, which turns the Fuma shurikens into 15. By the way, the Fuma shurikens like really big shurikens that I forgot the first villain who Naruto fought on episode 1, who was trying to kill Iruka. Yeah, that guy. It's the one he had. And Kisame is an S-Clans ninja, so he's able to dodge all of them. After he lands, he charges Jiraiya, and Jiraiya straight up punches him in the face by jumping above his sword, and it burst into water, which means it was a water clone. And at the same time, 3 Kisames come back and slash at his back, tearing his back in like 3 different ways. And Jiraiya is really hurt by that, and the frogs start doing the sound thing with the genjutsu, and Kisame's sword is absorbing the chakra and the sound, but it won't work permanently, so he runs towards the stomach of the beast to cut open Zabuza so they can get out. And as soon as he's right there about to slice out Zabuza from the outside, explosive tags go off, and they explode the stomach. Now, luckily for Zabuza, the distraction of Jiraiya fighting Kisame was enough for Zabuza to get out, and Kisame falls onto the genjutsu. Zabuza falls into the genjutsu since he doesn't have a chakra absorbing sword, and Kisame continuously has to break him out of it, and they start running away by each of them making 50 clones, which all charge Jiraiya, and Kisame does hand signs for the 1,000 sharks, which were below the ground, and now Jiraiya was there fighting 50, well, 100 clones and having to continuously jump up and dodge the sharks beneath him trying to eat him. Jiraiya is an S-class ninja as well, so he handles it. And yeah, that's where the battle ends. But he leaves the battlefield, but he's tired and exhausted, so he can't go join the other battlefield. So he goes to a village nearby and starts resting there, in case the two swordsmen want to try to come back. He's still gonna be there to defend that spot. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Like and comment down below. This got a lot of subscribers. If you like this, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, hit the like goal and the comment goal for the next part. See ya.